Hey there, it's me, Brett Fish Anderson. Welcome to another episode of Race with Me. Now, in the next little while, an incident is going to happen somewhere around the world, and there's going to be a response of Black Lives Matter. Now, the question is, what do we do when we see somebody almost immediately holding up a banner or a poster stating that white lives matter or all lives matter? So the chances are that if you've been following this video series, you probably don't need to be convinced of the difference between Black Lives Matters and All Lives Matter or White Lives Matter. But you might find that you struggle to convince other people who bring up the counter argument when something like Black Lives Matter gets raised and a friend or a family member goes, yeah, but all lives matter or white lives matter. And so hopefully this will be a resource just to help you engage, to make that conversation go a little bit more easily when it comes up. And there are a whole bunch of analogies, but these are two that I like, that kind of make the concept very simple and straightforward and easy to understand. Say, for example, you are attending a funeral for your best friend. And so there's a moment of maybe celebrating their life or mourning their death. And imagine somebody at the back of the church ran in screaming, all deaths matter. Is their statement incorrect? No, absolutely not. Of course, all deaths matter. But in this moment, this particular context, there is a realization and a recognition that this particular person's death matters. And so having a funeral and a celebration and a focus on one person's death makes sense in that moment. The second example is if you are holding a fundraiser for something like breast cancer, for example, and somebody at one of the tables jumps up in the middle of the meeting and starts shouting, all diseases matter. Of course, all diseases matter. But in this particular moment and context, breast cancer matters, and this particular event is to raise money and awareness and maybe share some stories about the importance of or the circumstances dealing with breast cancer. So those are very simple analogies, but hopefully they will help you to be able to sit with someone else and go, when we talk about Black Lives Matter, we are not saying that all lives don't matter. Everyone I know that says Black Lives Matter agrees that all lives matter. We're also not saying that white lives don't matter. And the reality is that there has seldom, if ever, been a time in the history of the world where white lives haven't mattered. And so we don't need to say it. It's like having a Women's Day, because the world is geared towards men. And so you don't have to have a Men's Day, because every day, in a sense, is Men's Day. But there's a day where you have a special recognition for women. And so in the same way, there are incidents, there are circumstances, there are systems and structures that are making it seem like black lives do not matter in this moment, in this context, in this country, whatever it is. And so there is a need to raise the cry, Black Lives Matter, just to remind people that black lives do matter, that black lives are important. And so it's not minimalizing that all lives matter. It's not saying any less that white lives matter, but it's saying we need to put focus on black lives mattering, because right now it seems like they don't. So I hope those examples are helpful to you, and I hope that you will take opportunities when they come up to interrupt and interject, not to let people get away with saying all lives matter or white lives matter. It doesn't have to be confrontational, but you can take a moment to say, hey, can we just talk about this? Let me explain why I understand that we need to be saying Black Lives Matter in this moment.